This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, 5,000 peso monthly stipend hike for national athletes starts next month. TNT clings to Grand Slam dream, scores victory against San Miguel 86-77. Milan unleashes roaring sprint for second Tour de France stage win. Pogačar holds firm in yellow. In Major League Baseball, Montgomery ignites White Sox comeback. 5 RBIs lead 11-9 win over Rays. In the WNBA, Gray and Griner shine as Dream take down Mercury in Phoenix. While in the NBA, Filipowski makes history, first Jazz player to claim NBA Summer League MVP. And we get to know rising weightlifting wonder, Jhodie Peralta. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 24th of July. Now, here's our roundup. Now, here is some great news. Philippine Sports Commission Chairman Patrick Pato Gregorio confirms a 5,000 peso allowance boost for all national athletes and coaches, an across-the-board hike worth 10 million pesos, along with simpler requirements to cut red tape. A move welcomed as a blessing amid rising living costs. The hike will benefit many who still receive as little as 10,000 monthly, and comes as PSC officials personally reached out to athletes at Rizal Memorial, hearing their struggles and promising more support programs. TNT Tropang 5G refuses to let go of history, fighting through pain, fatigue, and sheer will to keep their Grand Slam hopes alive. Having already captured the Commissioner's Cup and Governor's Cup, TNT now stands one series away from a rare 3-conference sweep, a feat unseen in the PBA since 2014. The Tropang 5G clutched a gutsy 86-78 win in Game 5 to stay alive against the mighty San Miguel Beermen. Head coach Chot Reyes knows his men are running on empty, with Jason Castro, Reynam Batak, Simon Enciso, and Poy Eram sidelined, and the rest of his rotation battling through injuries. But Reyes is unbowed, saying as long as they have 5 guys who can walk, they will keep on fighting. San Miguel, still seething from a controversial Game 1 loss, aims to end the series and shatter TNT's Grand Slam dream, with Junmar Fajardo and CJ Perez expected to lead the charge. Everything comes to a head Friday night at PhilSports, a final series dripping with drama, a Grand Slam hanging by a thread, and TNT ready to leave it all on the floor. Moving on to cycling, the rain was pouring, the crowd was electrified, and Jonathan Milan once again proved he is the king of speed, blasting through a crash-littered final kilometer to seal his second stage victory at the Tour de France. Indeed, stage 17 from Boleni to Valence turned into a nerve-testing sprinter's frenzy. Milan, wearing the green jersey, surged forward as a massive crash under the Flamme Rouge took out top sprinters including Tim Merlier and Binyam Girmay, clearing a path to victory that he never let go. Milan described the stage as insane, with the last 25 kilometers going lightning fast. He credits his teammates for saving him, clocking a blistering 71.1 kilometer per hour at the line. He earlier dropped when the peloton split, then relied on Quinn Simmons and Jasper Stuyven to haul him back into contention. Milan now leads the points classification with 312. Pogačar is second with 240, making Milan the first Italian to turn in multiple stage wins in a single tour since Vincenzo Nibali in 2014. Yellow jersey holder Tadej Pogačar remains untouched, maintaining a stable 4-minute 15-second lead over Jonas Vingegaard in the general classification, protected again by UAE Team Emirates XRG through the chaos. The tour now heads into the Alps for a grueling Stage 18, a 171.1-kilometer gauntlet from Vif to the summit of Col de la Loze with 5,500 meters of climb. A decisive test awaits the race for the Malaguane. Here's the latest on Major League Baseball. Colson Montgomery put on a rookie clinic in Tampa, blasting a 3-run shot in the second and hammering a go-ahead 2-run double in the eighth to power the Chicago White Sox past the Tampa Bay Rays 11-9. Kyle Teel launched his first Major League homer and collected 4 hits, scoring 3 times, as Chicago erased deficits of 4-0 and 7-5 to cap a 5-1 road trip. The White Sox erupted for 6 runs in the eighth. Teel driving in 1, Montgomery clearing the bases, and RBI knocks by Mike Tauchman and Chase Midroth sealing the rally. Jordan Leisure earned the win in relief, and Dan Altavilla nailed down his 3rd career save, while Tampa Bay dropped its 11th game in 16 outings. Montgomery, called up on July 4, now has 2 big league homers and the career-high 5 RBIs in a single night. Allisha Gray erupted for 28 points, and Brittney Griner delivered a memorable homecoming with 17 points and a team-high 8 boards as the Atlanta Dream topped the Phoenix Mercury 90-79 on the road. Jordan Canada added 14 points and 6 assists. Shatori Walker Kimbrough hit 3 threes for 11, and Atlanta shot a scorching 50.7% from the floor, while out-rebounding Phoenix 36-27. The Dream dominated the paint 42-24 and dished out 25 assists on 34 made field goals. Griner, a franchise legend who led the Mercury to the 2014 WNBA title, received a standing ovation and a video tribute in her return. She went 8 for 12 from the field, coming up 2 rebounds short of her second double-double this season. Dewana Bonner had 14, Satu Sabali 13, and Alyssa Thomas flirted with a triple-double for Phoenix, who got 35 points off the bench. Atlanta snapped a 3-loss skid despite missing second leading scorer Ryan Howard, still sidelined with a knee injury. Meanwhile, Kyle Filipowski tore through the NBA Summer League and came out on top, becoming the first Utah Jazz player to earn the prestigious MVP honor. The 6'11" forward out of Duke put up a league-best 29.3 points per game in 3 outings, along with 7.7 rebounds and 2.3 assists, shooting a scorching 56.1% from the field and 39.1% from deep. His best performance came on July 14 against San Antonio, erupting for 35 points and 11 rebounds. Filipowski, who suited up for 72 games in his rookie year with Utah, hopes this dominant summer league will springboard him into a bigger role in his sophomore season. Filipowski is now more than ready to turn his summer league momentum into regular season impact for the Jazz. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What do you call the squash shot that bends the game to your will? It's called a boast, a tricky shot in squash where the ball first strikes a sidewall before hitting the front wall, catching your opponent off guard with an unexpected angle. Mastering the boast means turning defense into offense, using the court's geometry to open up winning opportunities and force errors. In the high-speed world of squash, a well-placed boast can be the difference between chasing the ball and controlling the game. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. This isn't your regular political clapback. This isn't even a Facebook war or a Senate rant. This is an actual challenge to a potential record-breaking matchup. Straight out of a podcast and into the ring, Davao City's acting mayor, Sebastian Baste Duterte, just took political drama to a whole new level, calling out Philippine National Police Chief General Nicolas Torre III to settle their differences not in court, not in Congress, but inside a boxing ring. And guess what? Torre didn't blink. The police general said he's game.
Ang una ko naisipan, uy, tama-tama. Maraming mga kababayan natin ngayon na nangangailangan ng tulong na naapektuhan ng bagyo at baha. Yes. So maybe this is a very good time para sa isang charity boxing match. We can do it on Sunday sa Araneta. Actually, pwede. Seriously, it's okay. Maganda yung pang charity, at least makatulong kami ni Mayor Baste sa ating mga kababayan na salanta. Ang proceeds ng kung ano man ang... Sigurado maraming manonood dyan eh.
Canadian former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau fought sitting Senator Patrick Brazeau in a charity boxing match for cancer. No headlines, no sound bites, just gloves, guts, and a knockout that helped rewrite Trudeau's political legend. So yes, this kind of boxing spectacle has history and impact. Now back to the Philippines. Baste claims Torre's bravado comes from his position. Torre, well, he's been firing back. Since he oversaw the arrest of Baste's father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, on ICC charges, but here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just a clash of egos. Torre wants to turn it into a charity boxing match for flood victims of Habagat. Sponsors already signed on. Support, even Senator Ping Lacson weighed in. Tweeting that a prominent casino hotel CEO is willing to host the fight if needed. Lacson himself called this an opportunity for a good cause. But wait, here comes the subplot. A video is making the rounds online. A Baste supporter volunteering to fight Torre if Baste doesn't show. Literally stepping into his mayor's shoes or gloves.
Shoutout kay General Torre. Kasi parang nangihinayang kami kay Baste pag siya yung lalaban sa'yo. Siguro mas maganda kung ako na lang, na pag-usapan na rin namin ng Banateros na ako na lang yung lalaban sa'yo. Kahit pa paano naman tsaka yung ng boxing gusto ko yung sa UFC ba, para mas maganda, para mas mababasag ko yung mukha mo. General Torre, shout out. General Nicolas, ano ba yan? Nakalimutan ko pangalan mo. Basta yung kay Nicolas Torre, General yan. Tayo na lang dalawa maglaban. Wag na si Baste, hindi mo ka-match yun.
So yeah, this story has everything. Power, history, pride, physicality, politics, and now philanthropy. But here's the bigger moment. Baste himself just dropped a video message. He's not backing down, just setting his own conditions.
Huwag ka mag-alala, Torre, kasi matagal ko na talaga gusto makabugbog ng unggoy. Kung gusto mo lang talaga ng suntukan, bakit kailangan mo pa ng charity? Why do you need kailangan mo pang gamitin yung nangyayari ngayon na baha dyan sa Metro Manila? If you're really serious about this, kung gusto mo yung charity na yan, and you've laid some conditions, then let me lay my own conditions for the event. Kung serious ka talaga, these are my conditions. Pakiusapan mo yung amo mo na presidente and let it come out of his mouth that all elected officials should undergo a hair follicle drug test. Papalagan ko yung charity mo na yan. Wala problema. If it will answer the issues nitong bansa natin, I can do that.
A clear line drawn in the sand. No position, no power, just gloves, eye to eye. This isn't just a fight between two men. This is a fight loaded with power, pride, and politics. The stakes beyond bragging rights, a charity match for flood victims, a showdown between influence and intent, and the test of whether a podcast there can actually become a national moment. Bastet has spoken. He wants equal ground. He wants to call the shots. He wants this to be his ring, his rules. So what now? Will Torres step into Bastet's ring? Will this fight ever happen, or will it end where most Filipino political scandals do? In sound bites and side eyes. Stay with us, because if this goes down, this won't just be a fight night. This might just be one of the most watched brawls in Philippine boxing history. And you're going to want front row seats. That's our roundup for tonight, the 24th of July. Up next, get to know rising weightlifting wonder Jhodie Peralta when we return right here on The Scorecard. From picking up a paddle to play table tennis to lifting heavy weights in pursuit of a dream, another young lady from Zamboanga is following the trail of our first Olympic gold medalist, Hidilyn Diaz. And she is right on track, winning gold medals in international competitions, putting the spotlight on the fact that weightlifting is one sport we Filipinos can really excel in. Let's get to meet this new girl wonder, Jhodie Peralta. Hello everybody, we are here inside the weightlifting gym at Rizal Memorial in Manila. And I'm sitting alongside one of the youngest members of the Philippine weightlifting team, Jhodie Peralta. Jhodie, paano ba nagsimula yung weightlifting journey mo? Was this your first sport or meron bang ibang sport na nakahiligan mo bago ka nag-start dito sa weightlifting?
Bali, nag-start po nung nakita ko nga po sa TV si Ate Heidi. Tapos, nung grade 2 po ako, naglaro ako ng table tennis.
Table tennis?
Opo.
Yun yung una mong sport?
Opo.
Okay.
Pero parang wala akong sa table tennis kasi mahirap po eh. Mahirap talaga. Kaya nag-stop ako. Tapos, nung mga 8 years old po ako, sinabihan ako ng tito ko, gusto ko pumasok ng weightlifting. Kaya po, pumasok ako sa weightlifting.
Sa Zamboanga to? Okay.
Sa mismong gym ni Ate Heidi sa Mampang.
Wow! Kailan ka unang nagseryoso pagdating sa sport na to?
Ata po, mga 10.
10?
Opo.
Okay.
Tapos, yun na po, nag-start na po. Tapos, nakapasok ako ng national team nung, 13 years old.
2 or 3 years ka nang nasa national team ngayon, nagko-compete. Okay. Kailan ka unang napunta sa Manila from Zamboanga? Kasi tiga Zamboanga ka, di ba?
Nung first laro ko po, nung 2023, sa India po.
Sa India? Okay. Kamusta naman yon yung first competition
Okay
mo?
naman po. Kinakabahan lang po kasi first time ko maglaro sa ibang bansa.
Okay.
Tapos, sa magandang nakakuha po ako ng 3 medal.
2 medal?
3 po.
3?
Opo.
Okay.
Gold medal po.
3 gold medal. So ano yung naging impact nun sa pamilya mo, sa buhay mo, tsaka syempre sa mga teammates mo nung naka 3 gold medal ka?
Bale, sabi ko, itutuloy-tuloy ko na po itong training ko ng maayos po kasi maganda akong pumunta sa iba't ibang lugar.
Kwento mo naman sa amin yung experience mo sa Kazakhstan, naka 5 medals ka. How was the experience over there?
Okay naman po. Kinakabahan lang po ako kasi bumaba po kasi ako. Bale, bumaba pa yung mga weight namin lahat.
Okay.
55 to 53 po. Kaya medyo kinakabahan ako dun. Kasi 2 kilo po talaga yung binawas. Tapos kakatapos lang din po ng laro namin nung Dumaguete.
Okay.
Tapos mga weeks or month, nag-compete kami sa Kazakhstan.
Tuloy-tuloy. So, from Dumaguete to Kazakhstan?
Opo.
Okay.
Yes. Maganda naman po yung kinalabasan. Nagkaroon naman din po yung medal.
Ano yung pinaka-importanting advice na nakuha mo sa coach mo or kay Ate Heidi? Nagkausap na ba kayong dalawa?
Opo, nung last. Bale, ano po, mag-training ng maayos, tas focus lang po. Wag po yung pagdating sa laro, wag po muna mag-enjoy. Bale, pagkatapos na ng laro para maging okay na talaga.
Okay. So, sinabi sa akin ni isa sa mga coach dito, si Coach Edmundo, sabi niya, everyday kayo nagte-training, minsan twice a day, tapos Sunday lang yung pahinga. Jhodie, ikaw, ano yung motivation mo na gumising kada araw para ibigay yung best mo sa ensayo dito sa loob ng gym?
Ano po, inisip ko lang po yung pamilya ko, tsaka yung paghihirap po ng coach ko, si Coach Allen po na pagka-training namin araw-araw, balik. Parang yung pagka-training po namin, parang ibigay na lang namin ng halaga po para sa coach namin. Kasi always po siya may sumusuporta sa amin po.
Yung family mo ba, Jhodie, into sports?
Hindi po.
Ah, wow. Okay. So, paano mo sinabi sa mga magulang mo na papasok ka sa sports tapos weightlifting pa?
Well, kinausap lang po siya ng tito ko po. Tapos, yun na po.
Bilang babae sa sport, was this a struggle? Kasi nga, karamihan sa mga athletes dito, mga lalaki. Ngayon, marami na kayong mga babae dito sa gym. Is that something that inspires you to continue? Paano ba?
Pag babae po kasi, dapat wag lang, hindi naman po lahat ng lalaki puro malakas. May babae din po. Kaya.
Kung hindi sports, ano sa tingin mo yung gagawin mo sa buhay mo? Ano ba yung mga hilig mo?
Wala lang po, minsan, nagsiselfone tsaka nag-aaral lang. Yun lang po.
Mga cheat meal naman. Ano yung mga hilig mo in terms of yung cheat meal and how many can you have in a week?
Madami po.
Madami? Okay. Ano yung pinaka-paborito?
Milk tea.
Milk tea! mga ilang beses sa isang linggo kayo pwede mag-milk tea?
Depende lang po. Minsan 2 or 1. Tapos mga ice cream.
Sabi ni Yan, 5 daw.
Huh?
So, milk tea, ice cream.
Mga chicken po. Mga yung corn dog.
Okay. Pero panay dessert Okay. Okay, ito, last, Jhodie. Anong mensahe mo sa mga young girls na halimbawa, hindi nila alam kung anong gusto nila gawin sa buhay at baka gusto nila mag-sports? Ano yung magiging message mo sa kanila na sumubok lang?
Message ko po para sa kanila. Pag ano yung gusto nila sa buhay nila, dapat sundin nila. Huwag po silang magdalawang isip na pumasok sa ganitong buhay. Kasi di po nila alam kung anong magiging future nila po sa kinabukasan po.
Well, Jhodie, maraming salamat sa oras.
Thank you po.
Up next, it's a pressure cooker at Phil Sports Arena. The Beermen look to close the show. The Tropang 5G refused to fold. And someone's season is about to get flipped. Who blinks first? Stay locked in. And keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. We've got ourselves a fight, the kind of fight that makes legends. After 5 games of brute basketball, bold adjustments, and big-time moments, the PBA Philippine Cup Finals is still breathing. Game 6 tips off at Phil Sports Arena tomorrow night. TNT is alive. San Miguel staring down a finish line that refuses to stay still. Now let's talk about TNT. Just when it looked like they were ready to fold, they flipped the script again. For the 3rd time this conference, they clawed their way out of a do-or-die ditch, this time with an 86-78 win over the Beermen in Game 5. And this was not just effort, this was surgical. Brandon Ganuela's roster, a wrecking ball in sneakers. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 blocks, 5 different ways to say, not today. Kelly Williams turned back the clock with 4 triples. Old school grit. TNT's defense was on a string. Rotations were crisp. Help was timely. And they threw Junmar Fajardo into a maze of arms and angles. Now, San Miguel, cold. The Beermen shot just 32% from the field. Inside the arc, where they usually feast, they looked lost. 34% on 2-point attempts. That is not San Miguel basketball. Jericho Cruz was the lone bright spot, dropping 20 off the bench. But CJ Perez, 5 points. That can't happen again if San Miguel wants to avoid a Game 7 nightmare. Meanwhile, TNT's balanced scoring did the job. Pogoy, Heading, Oftana, all in double figures. Almon Vosotros stepped in and kept the machine running with a calm 11 points off the pine. Now we head to the Phil Sports Arena. Game 6. This is where coaching gets even more serious. Execution becomes everything. For San Miguel, this is about re-establishing their dominance inside, about freeing Fajardo from the cage TNT built. For TNT, it's about playing with house money, leaning into that defense and continuing to frustrate the Beermen stars. So stay locked in as the quest for PBA supremacy takes center stage. 2 titles, 1 championship. And here's your matchup preview for Game 6. Look, you don't win titles in this league without getting dragged through the mud first. That's where we are now. Elbows, rotations, hard cuts, mental toughness. This is now survival. And if TNT wins this thing tomorrow, woo, we're going to Game 7. And you better believe no one's ready to go home. And that's a wrap on our Game 6 preview. One team's on the brink of glory, the other's fighting to stay alive. The crowd will be loud. The stakes couldn't be higher. So strap in and keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From a 4-time Olympic gold medalist and 6-time world champion in athletics, a dominant force in the 5,000 and 10,000 meter events, Mo Farah once said, "It's not the destination, it's the journey." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night and stay safe.